The worst thing that you could put on your skin is a sunscreen. Why are we so afraid of the sun? When did the sun suddenly become the most dangerous thing? So, how did something which is so foundational to life suddenly be labeled as harmful? Why can't we handle the sun anymore? Now, what I'm going to say next, you are surely not going to like it, but sadly, it is the truth. But first, I want to ask you a simple question. Why are we so afraid of the sun? The very thing that gives us life, we treat it like poison. Because before stepping out, we apply loads of sunscreen. We are worried that we will get skin cancer or maybe those wrinkles, those dark spots, premature aging, just in case that we don't put it. So, what we do is we lather ourselves with that SPF because you feel you are protecting yourself. So, is it really true that the sun has changed so much that we are protecting ourselves from it? But what if I told you that the sun didn't change, we did? And the very thing that you have been taught to fear might actually be healing you or could be the reason to heal you. And the thing that you trust to protect you could be the reason that your health is falling apart. And I'm going to tell you why. So let's pause and let's ask yourself this question. When did we start fearing the sun? When did the sun suddenly become the most dangerous thing? Because it wasn't always like this. In fact, there was a time that was not even that long ago when the sun wasn't feared because 99% of human history worshipped the sun. If you look at the Greeks, they built temples to the sun god, which was called Helios. The Egyptians honored Ra, which was the source of all life. And in India, people also still perform the Surya Namaskar, which is not just an exercise but a spiritual practice to the rising sun. Even Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, used sunlight to treat diseases. They called it heliotherapy, which is the sun therapy. The sun wasn't just light, it was information, a frequency, a code for your cells that your cells could read. And when sunlight touches your skin, it doesn't just tan you, it activates a conversation between light and biology. And your body converts it into vitamin D, which, let me be very clear, isn't a vitamin, it's a hormone. It is the one that regulates over 2000 genes. Your immune system is dependent on it, your mood, and even your serotonin levels, your calcium absorption for bone strength, your testosterone, your estrogen, your fertility, even cancer prevention. Well, sunlight literally programs your body to thrive. It keeps your biological clock ticking in rhythm with the planet. So, how did something which is so foundational to life suddenly be labeled as harmful? Now, this is going to be surprising. The shift didn't come from nature, it came from fear. Somewhere in the early 1900s, especially by 1930s, skin cancer cases suddenly began to rise. And here's a plot twist. So did industrialization, so did processed food, so did toxic oils, so did indoor living, artificial light, air pollution, and even chemical laden cosmetics. And suddenly, we are spending more time away from nature, but blaming nature for what was happening to us, rather than asking what was changing in us. We pointed fingers at the oldest source of life, which is the sun. And right at that moment, when we did that, when people's confusion and doubts and fears began, the sunscreen industry was born. They didn't ask, why is skin cancer happening in more people who spend their lives indoors? No. They just said that here, this is a cream that we've created, it will protect you from the sun. But they weren't solving the root problem. They were offering you a band aid, one that they could resell every 2 hours. All while saying, just put sunscreen on and you'll be fine. It wasn't health, it was damage control packaged as prevention. And in the process, we stopped trusting the very light that our DNA has evolved over millions of years. We stopped trusting that. So the sun didn't betray us, we betrayed our own biology. Now let's talk about the other thing that we are told to never leave our home without, which is your sunscreen. This golden liquid promises your safety in the sun. But here's the thing, if you actually knew what's inside your sunscreen, you would really think twice before putting it on your skin. Because unlike your sunlight, which your body has evolved with for millennia, sunscreen is new, it's lab made, it's synthetic, a product made of chemical engineering and not natural evolution. Let's look at what's inside most of the commercial sunscreens. First, you have is oxybenzone, which is a chemical so disruptive it's been found to mess with hormones and even reproductive health. In fact, studies have found it in breast milk and also in urine of children. Then you have octinoxate, which is linked to thyroid issues and estrogen imbalances. And you also have avobenzone, which sounds fancy, but it actually breaks down under sunlight and generates free radicals, the very thing you're trying to avoid by having all those antioxidants and those green teas. Then you also have homosalate, which builds up in your body faster than your liver can detox it. And also you have octocrylene, which is a probable carcinogen. Now these aren't just surface level, they do not sit on your skin. The moment you apply it, within hours, they are in your bloodstream. Not traces, not a maybe. They are documented, measured, and even proven. In fact, there is a 2020 study that has found that a single application of sunscreen has pushed these chemical levels to your blood beyond the government's own safety thresholds. And all this in less than a day. And here's a not so cool part. They didn't just stay for a few hours. Some of them lingered even for weeks. So you didn't just put it on your skin. You absorbed it into your blood, into your organs, into your baby if you are pregnant. And we are supposed to believe that the sunscreen is protection. You see where I'm going with this, right? Now we apply these toxins in the name of preventing cancer. And I want you to also think about this, that if these chemicals were in your food, would you eat it? I bet most of you wouldn't even touch it. But because it's labeled as skincare, well, we treat it like it's safe. The truth is that it is not skincare, it's skin interference that these industries have fed us for many years that we don't understand and we are not getting it, that it hacks our biology. It suppresses the very feedback loop your body uses sunlight to learn from. Now, you weren't meant to block the sun, you were meant to adapt to it. But adaptation doesn't sell products, fear does. So, what they've done is that they've sold you fear, bottled in this sunscreen that you keep applying. But let me ask you the harder question now. Why can't we handle the sun anymore? Why is the sun suddenly causing diseases altogether? Now, I want you to imagine this. If you put a vessel on the gas and you put water in it, what will happen after 10 minutes? Let's say maybe the water will boil or it will evaporate. But what if I take gutter water and I put it in the same vessel? What will happen after 10 minutes? Maybe it will stink, it might smell, it might get a little black gooey. Well, think of it the same way. The sun is the fire, your body is the vessel, and what you put in it is what the sun reflects. And this is what it is all along. This is what we've got wrong. The sun hasn't changed. It still rises the same way that it did thousands of years ago. The problem is that we changed. We didn't always burn so easily because if you look at our ancestors, I don't think any of them needed an SPF 50 to survive. But look at us now. Red in 10 minutes, skin peeling after a short beach day, sun triggered rashes, heat bumps, inflammation, and we blame the sun. Because why? It's just easier to do. Now let's break this down. Firstly, you wake up inside a box. You spend all day staring at a screen under blue lights, you're in air conditioning, eating food that has been stripped of life and energy and even nutrition. Then you rub yourself with skin and lab made serums and products. You over cleanse, you over exfoliate, you scrub your skin barrier into oblivion. Then on a Sunday afternoon, you suddenly decide that, okay, I'm going to go into nature and I'm going to step out at noon with your body already filled with seed oils, sugar, and even stress. And then you burn, and then you say that, you know what, see, the sun, it is dangerous. No, the sun just revealed what's already broken inside you, just as the same vessel example. Because the sunlight doesn't create inflammation, it just exposes it. We never blame the crappy food we eat, or the alcohol we've consumed, or the amount of processed food, or the colas, or that high sugary foods that we consume, which inflame our skin, our gut, our hormones are out of balance, we barely move, we are overfeeding ourselves, and we are undernourished. It's not that the sun suddenly has become dangerous, it's just that we have become fragile. We went from syncing with nature to hiding from it. And your sunburn isn't proof that the sun is bad, it's just proof that your skin has no reserves left. So then they blamed the light for the cracks, but people never questioned the crappy food or, that, oh my god, I'm so drunk with this helly drink on a Saturday night. You don't question the thing that you are supposed to question, you question the wrong thing. And sunlight is not toxic. But when your body is toxic, sunlight just becomes the mirror. And that's what modern life has done to us. It has made us biologically very unfit to handle the environment that we are designed for. Instead of reversing that, we keep on adding more products and more chemicals and more fear, and then suddenly we are all questioning the sun. Now, you don't need to fear the sun, you need to heal the system that's reacting to it. And what happens if you block the sun? Well, you're not just blocking the sun, or you're not blocking a sunburn, you're blocking a conversation between your body and the light. And that comes with a cost, because sunlight isn't just heat and light. As I said earlier, it's information. It tells your brain what hormones it needs to release. It tells your cells when it needs to clean, when to rest, when to repair, when to digest. It literally sets the rhythm of your biology. Block that long enough, and suddenly you'll realize everything falls out of sync. Your melatonin crashes, your cortisol rises at wrong times, your sleep becomes shallow, your gut becomes very leaky, your hunger hormones get confused completely, your thyroid suddenly now slows down, your estrogen gets stuck, your immune system forgets what is friend and what is foe. So it's all very confusing. And all of this is just from missing one signal that your body has relied on for millions of years. Now, let's rebuild what we've lost, because understand that your skin is not fragile, it's very intelligent. It was designed to handle sunlight with the right support. So, here's how you turn your skin into a natural SPF. Build your melanin slowly. Start with the early morning sun before 9 a.m. Just stay in it for 5 to 10 minutes, no sunscreen, just you and the light. Let your skin learn, let it adapt. Next is eat your sunscreen. Now, I'm not talking about the chemical kind, but the real colorful kind. Your tomatoes, your blueberries, your walnuts, your amla, carrots, turmeric. These are all rich in antioxidants that protect your DNA from the inside out. So, follow it, then balance your fats. Cut out all the industrial seed oils, your sunflower, soybean, canola. They oxidize under sunlight and they also cause inflammation. Replace them with coconut oil and cold pressed olive oil. The next is heal your gut. 70% of your skin health starts from there. Fermented foods, have all of them. Kanji, homemade pickles, kimchi, all of them, they help. Go for fiber rich foods like fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds. Go for it. Fix your gut and your skin will become more resilient. Now, if you're going to be out for too long, then use mineral sunscreens with zinc oxide or titanium oxide. No oxybenzone, no hormone disruptors. Use natural alternatives if needed. You can go for cold pressed coconut oil, which has around a 4 to 6 SPF, or you can do something very simple is just cover yourself, use hats, use cotton clothing, which are very breathable just in case you're going out in the sun for too long. And here is a fun fact that if you go to any of the beaches in Thailand, most of them don't allow you to enter the water if you've applied sunscreen, because the chemicals in the sunscreen, especially the ones that I'm talking about are the lab made ones. They affect a lot of the marine life and the corals, so they don't really allow you to put that and enter the water. Now, just imagine if it is affecting the marine life and it's affecting the corals, imagine what it is doing to your skin. And also, something to think about is that we are the only species on Earth that puts sunscreen. Not a single animal or any other species on this planet applies sunscreen except us humans. So there is something wrong that we are not addressing. And it's also something to think about. Coming back, avoid any synthetic skincare that weakens your natural defenses. And most importantly, respect the sun. Just know that your body remembers it. It knows how to heal. It just needs your help on how to thrive in that sunlight. So, really, stop fighting it. Take those shoes off, stand barefoot on earth, let the morning sun just touch your skin, eat real food that grows in soil, and that's real whole foods, not the packaged ones. And your body will slowly understand and will slowly remember. And literally, you don't need that $1 billion product to protect or keep you safe. You just need one thing to align yourself with, and that is the sun. You need to reconnect, because when you align with nature, you don't just protect your skin, you protect your life and you heal from a lot of things. And that is not that product or that sunscreen that you're using, that is the sun. So don't run away from the sun, align yourself with the sun.